Now, let me tell you a little about Riverdale Professional Service is a firm of chartered accountants that we are here to render all professional service regarding to accounting, taxation, professional service regarding business advisory service, and the rest. Training, staff training, recruitment, all whatnot. So long as it aids to boost your business from the financial side, you will surely find a partner in Riverdale that can support you, a team of partners that can support you. So today as part of our training, our free training courses, we chose to add Peachtree training to it. The last one was on payroll administration from start to finish. Now this time around for a Peachtree. This training is free, but some other of our training will not be free. So if you can, anyone that suits you, you fit in and you take them up. So Peachtree is one tool that most accountant needs to shine their place of work. Now, most employers of labor these days usually ask the applicants if they know how to use any accounting software, and Peachtree is one of those top accounting softwares they would like to know if you know how to use them. Now, there are some other organizations that are yet to embrace the IT tools. They are still on this 16-column category. If your company is in that category, I encourage you that after this training, you should look for a way to step up and help your organization step up, because it will help your decision making go very fast. So we're going to start from introduction. So these are course content. Introduction, other accounting softwares, why Peachtree, who are the users, how can we get the Peachtree software, how can it be installed, how to use it, the practicals, what are the possible challenges, question time. So we want to make it as fast as possible and as practical as possible. So please minimize distraction at your end. Okay. Introduction. Peachtree is an accounting software designed to reduce the stress and process time of accountants. It follows the principle of GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So what you put in there that you get as a result. Accuracy is very high. Accuracy level is very high. When you put in A plus B, the result will be C. If that's what you're expecting, that's what you'll get. So, but it still rides on the fact that you already have some source information, some source data that could come in form of voucher, payment voucher, receipt voucher, and the likes. So it's assumed that at your office side, you must have designed your payment voucher, your receipt voucher, your checks. You already have your check, your cash payment, petty cash payment vouchers, and things like that. So we are going to assume that you already have it. See, the noise. Now, we know that people will come in late, so I'm taking this time to slow down a bit. Now, we have different types of Peachtree. So we have different types of Peachtree. You can call it classes. Peachtree, which is currently known, Peachtree is currently known as Sage 50. So what you used to call Peachtree in the past is now known as stage 50. So we call it Peachtree so that users or people that will attendees will understand that we are still saying the same thing. Now, so you have Peachtree Pro, Peachtree Complete Accounting, and Peachtree Premium, and Peachtree Quantum. These are different categories. Call it classes or categories. Now, these categories depends on, including each of them comes with a subcategory, like those for manufacturing and manufacturing, construction, and the rest. So, but we want to make it nice and simple so that everyone can flow because they all ride on the same principle. Why Peachtree? Several individuals will tell you that they are comfortable with their Excel. Yes, because that is what they know best how to use. Some will tell you, oh, I'm comfortable with my 12-column cash book, 16-column cash book, because that's what they know how to use best. Now, if given the opportunity to understand how to use Peachtree, I'm sure they will migrate quickly. In the past, in the account department of a company, you usually have over 20 staff. But now, depending on the size of the organization, though, in recent times with applications like Peachtree, you can reduce this task to just a few. It could be 2, 3, depending on how you want the size of your organization. For example, you could have one as a financial controller, another one accounts payable officer, another one the accounts receivable officer, and any general data entry accountant or whatever category. So it could be reduced to 3 or 4, depending on what you want to achieve. And thereby reducing the cost, staff cost per head, then you have more efficient output. Apart from that, the quality of the salary you pay to your staff will be higher because unlike when you had many staff, you pay them small money, but now with a few staff, you can afford to add more to the pay. So it is flexible. It can be purchased off the shelf. It is easy for training and implementation. It's editable. You see, some accounting applications does not allow edits. So you can edit your transaction in Peachtree. You can convert to Excel. You can also convert to PDF. It can be used in network environment. Peachtree can be used in network environment. It allows for password. So when you have several staff working on the same Peachtree company, you can decide to allocate passwords to them. And those passwords will help you track who is doing what at what time. Now, when you assign passwords, you can then use audit trail to track who is doing what at what time. Supports multiple users. Peachtree supports multi-users, so you could have a Peachtree company file on the company database. Then everybody from their various terminals, all the users will be accessing the file that is in the database. Your invoices could be generated from Peachtree directly. Likewise, your payroll information, like your pay slips and the rest, can be generated directly from the. So some organizations, for example, that use Peachtree, they put their logo on their invoice, which is in the Peachtree application. So most SMEs can avoid printing of invoices using Peachtree. You can also avoid printing of pay slips differently as they use Peachtree. But you see, I still advise you to use your, for the purpose of local tax computation, I will advise you to still use your Excel or our local applications. But it depends on what you think is best for you. So please mute your mic so that you will not distract others. So we've known why we need Peachtree, and it will help you save a lot of cost if you know how to maximize the potentials behind Peachtree. Other accounting applications could be Tally, Sage, Pastel, QuickBooks, Simply Accounting, and sometimes we could also get our local IT experts to come and design their own customized accounting application. There are some applications out there that only focus on, it's just like a register. They take records of sales, but they don't have the accounting function. So, but Peachtree goes beyond that. Who are the users? Accountants, managers, SME, small businesses, small and medium-sized enterprises. They cannot afford to occupy a very big department called accounts department. So they could modify or process their same thing in a big wide office, and they'll have an accounts department there. Researchers use Peachtree to manage some of their information or to process some information. Programmers, schools and students. Applicants. Yes, applicants need to train themselves on the use of Peachtree so that when potential employers need their service, they'll be ready and prepared. Now, petty traders, they fall under the SME category though. So they need Peachtree. We talked about users, so go to how can we get the software? You can actually get Peachtree off the shelf in anywhere you are. Worst case scenario, you send us a mail. We can also help you source for one. Our email is services@riverdaleprofessionals.com. You also see it on the flyer you got, and this slide when you receive it, you'll surely see that. How can it be installed? Peachtree can be installed in CD in a plug and play fashion. Now, you can also do an online install though, but that consumes a lot of bandwidth and the rest. CD is more portable. An individual with very little computer knowledge can do the installation on a single system, on a single computer. However, more advanced knowledge is required when you want to install Peachtree in a network environment. Yes, when I mean network environment, I mean you want to use Peachtree on 3 or 4 terminals, like you have the financial controller, the accounts payable officer, the accounts receivable officer, probably the data entry person or the inventory person. You can have different terminals for them, and you accessing the same data, file in the same database. So in such an environment, you call it network environment. So you can install Peachtree in the network environment and you share data. In case of major troubleshooting, you may need the help of Peachtree online support. Yes, for when you buy a licensed one, which is what's recommended, you always have rights to. You always have rights to ask for more support, for their support. After installation, Peachtree can be used to maintain books of several companies. So you can, if you are working in a group of companies, you can use one Peachtree file to maintain several, one Peachtree installed on your server to maintain the data of so many companies. It can also be used in a network environment to coordinate the activities of different units. It can be used to handle stock and inventory. Yes, you can use it to track your inventory, movement of your inventory in terms of in and out, how it goes, how you sell them, and cost of sales, and the rest. It can be used by accountants for financial analysis. You see, when you download, you can easily download your reports from Peachtree. Peachtree has so many attractive reports that are very useful. You'll come in, when you get to the point, oh, it's probably, I'll show you different styles, but just know that there are many possibilities already there, designed, ready just for you to click and download. It can be used for managing jobs. Yes, jobs and projects. You can use to track the records of your projects, your jobs and your projects. Now, when let's say you are running multiple projects at the same time, Peachtree can help you track the costs associated with each of the projects in a very easy fashion. This will be discussed in full later. All these things will be discussed later. Possible challenges. Need to train non-accountants in the basic accounting principle before they can use it effectively. Now, that does not mean that people without real accounting knowledge cannot use it. What I mean is, those with basic accounting, like those accounts, they normally take, if you are going through in university in Nigeria, you are going through other courses, sometimes they bring in accounting. If you have an understanding of such accounting knowledge, then it will be easy for you to appreciate the terms used in Peachtree. And where you did not go through such training, a little brush up, especially as an entrepreneur or someone with entrepreneurial mindset, you can easily get some brush ups and understand how to use it. Now, when you have your information on an application like Peachtree, decision making be so easy, swift, and accurate. Peachtree only displays 2 years data. When you need to move to a third year, you will need to close the earlier year. Now, what that means is this. Assuming you started your business in 2000, Peachtree will allow you post information into 2 years. What I mean is 2020 and 2021. Now, when you get to 2021 and you are moving to 2022, you will need to close off the earlier year, which is 2020, so that you can before you be able to post information or data into 2022. So likewise, when you go close to 2023, you need to close 2021 for you to be able to post data into. But the modern Peachtree files will allow you to view information in the previous periods. You'll be able to view them, but you'll not be able to edit any of them. So it's a very good one for small businesses. Due to the ability to edit previous postings, some companies don't like it. Although the use of password and rights will enhance control. So what it means is this. Somebody can go into your previous data and edit them if the person has the rights. If you implemented the password control. But if you implement the password control, you'll be able to track who deleted what at what time. But if you not implement the password control, then they'll delete and you will not know who did what. So the Peachtree is very flexible. It allows you to implement whichever option you prefer. And I would recommend that you implement the password control. Then it will allow you to track who did what at any stage. In addition, you can limit what each staff can do, each password owner can do. So for instance, you can say account payable officer will not be able to treat transactions that have to do with accounts receivable. You can also say accounts receivable officer will not be able to treat transactions that have to do with accounts payable. So you can limit individuals, the powers to limit, they're there. The admin controller, who should be the person at the top, probably the financial controller or the managing director or the senior manager, whoever is in charge, should be the one that will act as admin. Modern Peachtree versions require higher computer specification, otherwise they will not be installed. Yes, if you bring the recent versions of Peachtree and attempt to install them on very old computers or Windows, you'll be required to install some more applications before it will work. So you need to know, because there are many things. They've been empowered to do a lot of things. Now we would like to go to the practicals, but before then, I want to know if you have any question. I would like to know if you have any question, because we at this stage, so that if you have any question, just raise up your hands and I will mute you. Mohammed Saka, please, what's your question? Unmute yourself and talk.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for the presentation, sir.
Thank you.
I want to get the classes again. Said Pro, I can only get Pro. I can't get the other 3.
Don't worry, you get the slide. You get the slide, everything will be there. There are 4.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You have Matthew Salako. Which class of Peachtree is capable of keeping accounting record of religious bodies? Now, Peachtree is designed in such a way that it can be adapted. So there are many things when we get to the practical side. Yeah, you'll be able to adapt. Is there a link for demo software Peachtree? I don't know if there's a demo, but you see, Peachtree is something that is always close to me. So I think there should be demo. If I explore, I think there should be demo. I'm trying to do you have Peachtree training online via Zoom? Yes, sir. Saliu. You see, we are doing this training free, but if you want a more detailed one, maybe tailored to your organization, of course you can reach out to us, and of course it's going to come at a fee. There's no audio here, please. Sunday, Fagbanro. Let me know if you can still hear me now. If not, let me know. Sorry, we don't, Mr. Abiodun said to you, we don't allow the recording for now. I don't have the authorization to do that, but we record it, and if I get the authorization, we'll share the recording with you. Yes, do you do training via Zoom? We are currently going through Zoom training, so we can do it, and we can also do it tailored to your organization if you want, but it's going to cost you money. We can also do it on ground, your company. You can install, you can implement, depending on what you want to do. Peachtree and SAP, they are two different applications. So it depends on what you want. It depends on what your company desires. So Saleh, you said individual training. Now, individual training could be with your company, or your company premises where you have so many staff coming together to train. Could be that your company wants to implement and you want installation and training. Those are different things we can do. So it will cost you money, and so, but not something you cannot pay. Do you also offer SAP training? You need to make us a proposal if you want that. Sure, we'll get it done. Do you train candidates physically? If yes, kindly furnish me with your address and cost of training. Yes, we do, but that I cannot give you here. We'll give you our email, services@Riverdale. RiverdaleProfessionals.com. It's also on the flyer I'm going to send to you. That's our email. Our address is 5 Olide, Riverdale Professional Services. 5 Olide Street off Unity Road, Ikeja, Lagos. So is there any accounting software called FreshBook? It's possible, but I've not heard of it. Okay, so that's our address. I think I've answered all the questions here. So let's move to the next segment, which is the practical. Yeah, most of these other applications like Tally, it might not be easy to edit information just the way it is in Peachtree. You have even the Sage, other Sage, it might not be easy to edit. So you make an error now, you might need to, and you think you made a mistake, then you might need to pass a reversal entry instead of editing. But in Peachtree, you can edit. So I'm trying to launch the Peachtree file. Share. Please, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this logo here.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Yes,
logo
but
here.
not very clearly, sir.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Yes.
Hello, please. Is this the starting point of the software program?
This is what?
If yes, is it the starting point of the software?
Repeat your question, please.
I'm asking, is this the starting point of the software?
The starting point, it comes with this logo here, this logo. You know, but
Okay.
you cannot see it. You cannot see it. That's why I have to launch it and allow you to see this. And I want to explain from this point.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so everybody can see me now. Okay. Now let me see if I can enlarge whatever. Now that this is from, let's assume when you immediately click when you launch the Peachtree, this is what comes up. And at the top here, you have file, options, services, help. Now, if you look down here too, you have open an existing company, create a new company. Now, if you go to this file, which is at the top there, you also see that there are drop down, open previous company, new company, restore. Now, this restore window is used to restore from backup. Open online backup and exit. When they said open an existing company, under open an existing company, which is similar to what you have.
No, I don't have any money.
So that's what is doing, I think, now.
Sorry, please I have to mute everyone. Now, I have explained that under this file, you have so many submenus. Likewise, the options here, you have so many submenus. Now, this submenu called global, for instance, is you to set some global parameters regarding your Peachtree. For example, if I want my Peachtree file to, each time I'm posting my transaction, it will suggest an answer from already stored data in the past. So I'll make sure that this is clicked, checked. Drop down list. So this is one thing I love doing whenever I want to set up a company. I make sure that this drop down list is checked. So whenever it's checked, it allows you to do more. Yes, so you say, okay. Now, so I allow it so that it will, whenever I'm trying to do my postings, it will give me the drop down box. Now, you have this open. Open is for opening an existing company. Well, if you want to create a new company now, let's say you start your business today and you want to create this is where you come to. Either you come this way or you go to this file. What information you have there is also available under the file. So let's explore this open existing company first. Peachtree comes with some companies. So I want to see if it's there. This learning one doesn't have it. Okay, let's go to a new company. So set up a new company in Peachtree is very easy. It's more like click, 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 and click. At the end of the day, you have a company. Sorry, I need to mute everyone. Now, if you look at this wizard, it's called a wizard. It gives you a checklist of what you need to do to get your company going. So, assuming you're employed today as the accountant of a company, and they say you should come and set up your company's books in Peachtree. So, and you ask them if they have Peachtree file, they said no. So what you need to do is you start up this way. Let me go back again so that we can start to do it together. Why is this? Let me see. Sorry, please, one second. Okay, so this window is where the window you need to create the company, a new company. So you just click and you watch. Now, this is called a wizard. It's known as a guide. Layman's word, a guide. So you need to first create the name of the company and address, business type, accounting method, accounting period, and fiscal year. So all you need to do is to click next and follow the steps. Why is that still on? Yeah, when you click the next, it gives you this page. This page, you're supposed to put your primary. Now, this is where you put your primary details. For example, the name of your company. Let's call it Queen and Queen. Why is this in season? Is supposed to be muted. Okay. So now I think the background, so much noise at the background. Okay, good. So everyone is now mute. Let me see if I can go fast now. King and Queen Limited. Address 1, 24 Baba Tunde Street. Ikeja, Nigeria. Telephone. Now it's a limited liability company. So you chose limited liability company here. Now every field, try and fill out every field. So if you have a website, you can say www.queenandqueen.com. Email info@queenandqueen.com. So next. Now, if you have your VAT, your TIN number, whatever, you can put them here just for purpose, for just to keep your records more clean. Now, when you look at, if you look at this page, which is the next one, it said select the methods to create your company. Now, use a sample business type that closely matches your company. What I'm pointing here is to chart of accounts. Copy copy settings from an existing Peachtree accounting company. Convert a company from another accounting program. For example, you can convert from QuickBooks to, so if you have a file already saved in QuickBooks, you can bring them here, bring the information here. You can build your own chart of accounts from scratch. I can use this to consolidate Peachtree companies, to bring them together. So usually, most people pick this first one because it's easy. But when you go to an advanced user, you can now explore building your own. But I recommend that you use this first one. I also use it too. So next. Now, next is now showing you the samples of existing samples of chart of account. So what that means is construction company, for example. This is chart of accounts that has to do with construction company. If you look at items, they have materials, unused, unassigned materials, work in progress, information like that. Talk about distribution. So you have information as regards distribution, a business as into distribution. If you want to talk about manufacturing, these are information that has to do with manufacturing. So it's only showing you samples of chart of account here. So you can say view details about this business. If you want to know more, you can click that. See, not for profit. For example, the fellow that asked about church that's for religious bodies. This is a set of accounts you can use, so you can adapt it. Retail companies, service companies. So the chart of accounts are displayed here, so you know what to do. So anyone you pick is by highlighting. Once you highlight in blue, you can move forward. So the next phase here is detailed chart of accounts. So let's assume you don't want to go with these major ones. You want to then go detailed. So for example, you have this detail that shows you something like accounting agency, advertising agency, architects. You know, these are other categories of businesses which you can select from. So you pick whichever. See, not for profits one, nursing home, optician, things like that. So anyone you pick the system will give you a chart of account that's close to that. So let us pick. Let's look for something to pick now. Let's look at distribution. Let's pick distribution. So we move forward. So move forward means click next. The next question is the wizard is asking you is, do you want to be posting based on accrual basis or cash basis? Now in Nigeria, our account basis is usually in the private sector is accrual basis. So what we pick here is accrual. So you know there's a note here too. Income is recorded when sales occurs, regardless of when you actually receive the money. Expenses are recorded when you receive the money, when you receive goods or service, even though you are yet to pay. That's accrual basis, which is what we all know, even from the university or institution, on the professional bodies. Now, the cash basis, which is what is used in the public sector, like the government agencies. So we don't do that. We don't use this in the private sector. So we ignore cash basis and embrace accrual basis. So we move on. See, Peachtree is even saying most companies use this. Now, the next question is, do you want to be posting on real time or on batch processing or smart posting? If you look at the base here, you see the description. Each transaction is posted as it is entered and saved. Batch processing. If you click on this batch processing, what it does is that as you post, as you key in your data, your ledgers and the rest will not be updated until you click on posts. Click on posts. There's a key for posts. I'll show you later. So, but most people chose real-time or smart posting. Smart posting, so transactions are saved and then posted automatically in the background by the smart posting service. Smart posting allows you to finish a transaction without waiting for it to post. The service ensures that you get the best performance. So next. So you can see that once you install Peachtree, you can always be clicking next, and you're already there. Now, in accounting, periodicity, that's what we call it in Nigeria. Accounting periods are units of time that divides your fiscal year for reporting purpose. Now, usually it's 12 months, but when you don't want to conform to 12 months, you want to flex it more than 12 months, you use this option there. But I'm going to use 12 months because it's our standard here to use 12 months. So we click next. Next question Peachtree is trying to ask you, this company that you're about to create, when is the first period of posting? When is their financial year? Where is it starting from? So usually some companies start from January to December, while some from April to March, and others September to October. So depends on what you want. So I'll choose January to 2020. So we're assuming that this company started operation wants to post this transaction. It started in 2020, and it wants to post this transaction for 12 months. So even if the business starts in March, the month of March, but your fiscal year is January to December, we'll also pick January and move on, because it's going to be every year rollover that way. So now you see, you are ready to create your company. So after you click finish, your company data will be created. So you just click on finish and wait for Peachtree to do its thing. So it's already doing its thing there, trying to build the information the way you want it. All those parameters you've already put, Peachtree will gather them together and form your company, such that as you're posting, information will be updated in the database. So it just takes a few minutes to be up. Takes a few minutes. Doesn't spend much time. So you see all these windows opening up. They are tutorial windows that come up to teach you one or two things as regards the Peachtree file you want to use. So if you have the time, I will encourage you to read through every one of them. But for the purpose of this session, we don't want it to be too long, so we will try to go through so you know the key things that you need to watch out for. So this is a summary sheet. This is a summary, more like a summary note. So I'll just hide it and say do not display. But at your end, when you are doing it for the first time, please study them. So next. So just close, okay? And same thing here, it's telling you the period obsolete information here. No problem, I don't need that now. So Peachtree will show you this dashboard. This is dashboard, and because we're just starting, there's no much information here. So this dashboard is a beautiful place, and it could help you summarize a lot of things. So if you start posting information, data into your Peachtree file, a lot of data will be populating here, and they will help you form an opinion in summary. So my dashboard. So this is my dashboard. It's nice and clean, nothing there. And if I want to focus on customers and sales, I click here. This is strictly for customers and sales. If I want to talk about vendors, I click there. This information is here as regards vendors will populate. Inventory service, employee, likewise jobs, banking, company. Now, but if you want anyone to be default, any of these tabs to be default, you just click here, make default. So anytime you log in, let's assume you are an account payable officer. Account payable officers, you would like to see vendors and purchases. So you click this make as default. Once you click it, anytime you launch Peachtree, vendor related information will pop up. But if your accounts receivable, you click on this customer and sales, and that will come up. Then you use this as your default. Then if you go to this, my dashboard, this is for top management staff, like the financial controller and the rest. Now, with that, a lot of information will come up here when the time comes. We start populating your information. So let's look at other sites. Look closely at the top there. You see the menu. At the top menu here, you have file, lists, file edit, lists, maintain, task analysis, options, reports, services, windows, and help. Now, usually, it's not every item you find here that will be useful for us, because this is an application that was built for multi-purpose. After the setting of a new company, yes, everything in Peachtree can be edited. Once you make a mistake on the file, you can always edit it. So allow me to explain everything, all the interface, so that it will be easy for us to understand data. File is meant for your primary information, like you see under file you have open, previous company, new company, close company, setup guide, smart posting manager, backup. So if you want to back up your Peachtree file, this is your big Peachtree company, this is where you go. If you want to restore your Peachtree company, you come here. Automatic backup, this one you set it up and it continues to back up by itself. Online backup, import, export. Here you use this to import data, import files if you want to. You can archive file, open from archive, restore from archive, data verification, updates, payroll formula. Now, this most times people don't look at this information, but the key here for me is this backup. I must back up, and this data verification tool is used to correct errors, inbuilt errors in Peachtree. So, but don't use it until it's necessary. Edits, use this to find transactions, to search for transactions. Lists, gives you a list of major things, which is like customers, sales, vendors. So you can explore more this part. You can explore more here, but it's more like a search window, giving you search options and the rest. So maintain is one part that you must remember, okay, when you want to use Peachtree. And the best way to describe it is this. When you are going to the university or any institution, there are some basic information that they ask the institution need from you. For example, they will need you to give them the name of your parents, the name of the streets, your street name, the house address, the phone number of your parents, the email address of your parents, your date of birth. These are your primary data, your primary information that regards your existence. Now, they can also ask you the primary school you attended, the address, name of your principal. If any, these information don't change easily. They are just your primary information. They ask for your gender, if you're male or female. They'll ask you. They don't have those primary informations are things that you must give. So that's how you have a Peachtree too. Your primary information is required under maintain. So when you want to talk about customer, vendor, so you have customer, vendor, employees, payroll, chart of account, budget, inventory, item price, quantity, discount, units, job, fixed assets, company income information. These are information that don't change over time. Now, in the school also, when you start to write your exams, the first year you write tests, write exams, write test assignments, and the rest. Now, those are routine information, routine data as regards your existence in the school. And they will continue to change. For example, the course that you write in year 1 will be different from the course that you write in year 2 and things like that. So that is known as, under Peachtree, the provision for that is task. That's what task does. Task captures routine information. Like when you've captured your vendor's details under maintain, and you want to now start to patronize the vendor, you need to come to task to post the invoices. You need to come to task to post the transactions. So likewise, if you want to capture your customers' primary data, you capture them using customer under maintain. Then after that, when your customer starts to purchase things from you, you come to sales here on sales invoicing under task to capture the routine sales. So the customer can come in day 1 to buy, and later come in day 5 to also buy one more thing. They keep buying different things. You also can go to your vendor on day 2 and day 4 and day 7 to buy different things. So when you are buying those things, you treat them under task. When your customers are patronizing you, they patronize you, you post the transaction under task. Now, that is a high-level description, layman's description, so that it will be easy to sink in. So let me go precisely. I get a customer. Customer name is Ngozi Babatunde. So I need to put the primary information as regards Ngozi Babatunde here. So Ngozi's name, it depends on what you want to do, because some companies normally attach code to their customers. So let's assume the customer code is 0001. And now this is Ngozi Babatunde. I like Babatunde because my name Nnamdi means Babatunde. So you see all the primary information as regards the customer will be here. So his address, billing address, his account number. If you give them account number, most times we don't give. So billing information, 21 Agbabiaka Street, Lagos, Nigeria. You see, these are primary information. They don't change. The phone number, 070-594-11111. And if you have a second phone number, you put it there, 080-2501-3742. If they have fax, you put it there. If you have info at Riverdale Professionals.com. If they have a website, you put it there too. www. Put it there. Now, you have other windows down here, which could help you capture some other information which is unique to your own business. So, for example, if in your business, you like to be giving, you like to capture some class of information. Let's say it could be anything. Anything could be. Let me see. See, they give an example here. Second contact. Second person that you want to be talking to. Now, this information here can be changed. All you need to do is click here and you change it. So you can say instead of second contact, you say key contacts. You can also add the fifth item by checking this box and putting phone number. Okay, you save it. So you see that you can see number 5, phone number. So it depends on what you want to do. So you put it there, and Peachtree will accept it. So now, what it means is for each customer, you maintain the data, you fill out all these parameters, and you save it. As you're doing that, the system will be storing this information, so that whenever you need to spool them out, to be easy to spool. So we just maintain one customer now called Ngozi Babatunde. So I close that. I also want to maintain one vendor called 0001. Now this 0 could be V0001 for V for vendor. Call this Nnamdi Sahid. Okay. Then the contacts. This could be the contact person, whatever option you want. That's the main contact person in the company. Let's say that's if it's an organization, you can maintain a. You can call the name of the person, but now it's Nnamdi Sahid because it's an individual. But it could be a company. You put the name of the person. So 23 Beni Soke Street, Lagos, Nigeria. Now, what it's asking here for is expense. Although when you are posting the transactions, it could change. Expense has to do with chart of account. What chart of account? Where this transaction this vendor that you are patronizing, what kind of items do you want to be purchasing from him? That is what it's trying to say. What kind of items do you want to be purchasing? I'll go through all your questions, please. Let me take a step at a time. So now, let's assume Nnamdi Sahid sells fuel. So if you click here, this drop-down box, it will take you to the chart of accounts where you can pick the expense head. So I want to pick fuel or auto expense. Okay, this is auto expense. So anytime I'm buying, most times, not at every time, most times when I patronize Sahid, I will be patronizing because of auto expense. Now it's possible that when I want to patronize him at a point, I might not be buying auto related item. Instead, I'll be buying something like a fuel. If it's fuel, then I have a different expense head for fuel. I can then manually adjust it. But by default, this will always pop up when I want to post transactions in the name of Nnamdi Sahid. So 080, and always put a phone number 080 594 111. Yeah. Just put that and just putting my number there just for the training purpose. Now, email to the same thing, info at the customers, that's the vendor's email, vendor.com. .vendor.com. Okay, that's their own email. Likewise, when we did the other case to where we can add more parameters, so you can also do that here. Add more. Just simply click this, pick whatever you want, add them, and you save. Go on. It wants me to put something there. Sample. One. Sample. Two. I'm just putting that so that you know that you can do that. So you see, you can edit what you have there, you can change it, and you save. Once you save, this vendor is already saved. If you notice, these are primary information about the vendor that will not be changing overnight. So likewise, your inventory. So if you have inventory items, you come to the inventory box under maintain. You pick the inventory. The inventory code could be, it could be the name of the item. Let's say A4 paper. Description is the full name. A4 A4 paper. Corn. I don't know if I'm right, so that's okay. A4 paper. Now you put all this parameter, but you describe it again here. This is a more bigger space for you to describe the item you are trying to sell, or you're bringing to inventory. Now, price levels. Now, these price levels could vary. So you could have different price levels. So, but usually people focus on just one price level. So let's say your A4 paper is 1,600. Yeah, unit cost. If you have the unit cost, you put it there. Let's say 1,000 naira. Costing method is telling you average. So if you want to do FIFO, first in, first out, you can also change it. This is your sales account, sales ledger, inventory ledger, cost of sales ledger. Now, this base here will help you to track some other information, all those inventory management information, minimum stock level. So you can say, for instance, that your minimum stock should be 500. The other quantity, and then what's the other quantity? You can put all those parameters yourself. Let me say 200 or 1,000. So preferred vendor, if you have preferred vendor for this purpose, put it there. You know, things like that. So you save it. You save it. Now, you see that. Let me save this one first so that I explain the next item. A valid item class must be selected. Sorry. Stock item. Stock item. What it's trying to tell me, you know, sometimes we might use this for non-stock inventory related item because Peachtree allows you to adjust, to adapt. So you need to look at, after adapting, you look at what response you get after adapting. So, sorry. So I want to go back now. So I have explained customer, vendors, inventory. Now, sometimes you have non-inventory related items that you want to bring in there too. So, but I want to then purchase. Now, is when you have vendors, what you do, if you look closely now, we are under task. Look closely. What I did earlier was to maintain the primary information as regards the customers, vendor, and inventory. Now, the other things that you can do under maintain, like the company information. This company information, you can maintain it here. You can see that all those information like Queen and Queen Limited, before Babatunde, these are primary information as regards this company that you've created that you might never change. But in case you change, for example, you try to change your phone number, your business phone number, you can always come here and change it. You can always change it. Okay, you can come here, default information as regards vendors, default. There's so many defaults that you can change here. For example, look at customer payments. You want them to pay cash on delivery, click that, or you put other payment plan. You can do that, but you can also say cash on delivery. So these are core primary things that don't change. Now, job is used when you want to be running projects. Like, let me give you an example. A good example would be, let's assume you are managing multiple projects, and now your boss wants you, or your company wants you to track the costs and the revenue of the job. You come here and do that, use this model. So if I have to do that, I'll then call this, I come to maintain, click on that, I'll then call it job code 00 JD JB 001. JB 001 is let's call it Ikeja project. This Ikeja project could be anything. It could be maybe I was trying to supply some people at Ikeja certain things, or you're trying to build something at Ikeja for them. So you put the address here, put all the other parameters if you like. But these are the key parts. So you save it, and you close it. Then, so when it comes to the point of actual activity, which is the routine activity that happens in there, under the task, that's where you have to handle this under the task. So if you look closely, I don't know if you can see my screen closely. Now there's a thin line here, just immediately after credit notes. There's a thin line. So from this point to that point has to do with sales. Let me repeat. From this point, quotes, sales invoicing, select for progress. Select for progress. Up to this point, you have sales. So these are sales related. Sales related tasks. From this point to that point. Then just immediately after that thin line, to the next thin line is purchase related. So immediately after that, you have other ones, but that's the key. Then you have this account reconciliation, which you use for bank reconciliation. Now, let me explain sales. But before that, let me talk about purchase, because you need to purchase before you sell. You have something to sell. So purchase. I want to purchase something. Now there are other items here that is most times not used in Nigeria, but it's good I explain them too. Select for purchase order. Here you can do purchase order, but usually most of us come here straight. Purchase inventory. So if I click that, because I have already maintained a vendor, the vendor's name will be there, Nnamdi Said. So you see Nnamdi Said is there. Nnamdi Said is there. So I want to purchase something from him. And what do I need to purchase? Let's say 1,000 units of A4 paper. You see? Now, it has gone to purchase inventory, meaning I want to be purchasing paper for resale. So you come here, this invoice number 0000949. So A4 paper, I'm buying A4 paper at this rate, 1,000 naira. You see, it automatically picks the figure. And if you look down here, you see job. If this purchase has to do with a job, I'll then click the job. It will come down. So once you click this job, it will automatically attach itself to the job report. So, but that's not what I want to do now. I'm only showing that how to use it, where to use it. So for now, we have purchased inventory 1,000 units of A4 paper, and cost is 1 million naira. 1 million naira. So we save it. The accounting entry is that debit is going to debit accounts payable and credit these accounts payable here, and credits debit inventory and credit accounts payable. Okay. Another way to look at this is to look at this journal here up there, journal. So you see, this is the accounting entry again, debit, then say inventory journal, ledger, and you credit accounts payable. So that's for that. Then you save it. You can always retrieve a file that you have saved. So that I will demonstrate now. Now we have already just saved an item now. So look at this list here. The list is something is a window that will help you pick up the file that you've saved. So you see, when you click on the list, it comes up. So you can always pull the period to get, so you can go backwards and retrieve information from the past. So, but we only posted one item here, so that's why we're having one. So this is what we posted, and that's where it is. So we can edit. So we can edit, let's assume that the unit cost increased. We can adjust it here, and the rest. We can even increase the number of units purchased. Let's say we purchased 1,200 units. Once you post it, it will change automatically, and it goes that way. So that's for that. Then after purchasing, you need to sell. Now, know that there's sales order. Sales order, these are steps that can also be taken, but you see, in Nigeria, we hardly use this. What we go back is sales inventory. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong. You can start from the top, issue sales order first. Sales order first, and from there you can start to sell. So, but what I want to start from sales invoicing. You're assuming that a customer that works in, a customer that we already have, Ngozi Babatunde. So Ngozi Babatunde came in and wants to buy 10 units of A4 paper. See? 10 units of A4 paper at 1,600 is 16,000. Now you can do your sales tax here if you want that. If you want to include it, because in Nigeria our sales tax is 7.75. you can actually do a setting, fit it under settings. New. Let's go there. Everything you want to do in Peachtree is so easy. 7.5. Or you can do it manually. Put it there manually. So do not ask me for too many parameters. So that's why I just don't want to go on. So it's supposed to be FRS. Okay, let's FRS. We'll not even maintain that. Let me just close this. It's going to take so much time. But just note that you can always put it there. We are targeting to do this in 2 hours so that it should not be time consuming. So some will just put it there and type it, but it should be tied to a chart of account. So now the invoice sales, you can choose the sales option. Sales invoice, some call it SI 00345. Now this invoice number. So what it means technically is that you can print this invoice. That's assuming you don't. You can print from here. You click it and you print it like that. You can print it in PDF. If you go ahead, you're going to print it in PDF and you can email it to your customer. So likewise, if you want to retrieve the file that you just saved now, let's assume you just suddenly discover that it was not 10 or 20 units that was sold. You can edit it and it will come in this way. Save it. So easy. So now, as you are doing this, the various reports are already getting set. But there are some. Before I go there, let me show you some more things on that task. Now, as accountants, one major tool you would like to see use as an accountant is general journal entry. Journal entry. You need to be posting like your year-end postings, month-end postings. You use journal entry. So, for example, the bank charge. You can post your bank charge using this journal. So, I've seen someone that refused to use the other modules, but only journals. I was journalizing everything. So, I'll give an example. Let's assume I want to post bank charge. I'll just say bank charge VC 00. Let's say Zenith Bank 004543. Now, this is a bank charge. So I will then go to 6. Chart of accounts usually, the way it is structured, you can edit everything. You can even change. So this is bank charge here. Bank charge for the month of January. Okay, no, December 2020. Okay. Then let's assume the bank charge is 1,000 naira. So your regular checking account, this regular checking account that you're seeing here could be Zenith Bank. So you can change the name to Zenith Bank. I'll show you how to change the name, but let's use this as an example. Save it. Save it. It's telling me that my balance here, the debit is higher than the credit. So we need to make it equal. Otherwise, Peachtree will not accept it. So that is that. Okay. So the journal is there. So we are going to look at the summary, but let me explain one more thing. Account reconciliation. At the end of the month, accountants usually do a bank reconciliation. Peachtree allows you an easy window to do that. So you just use this. By then you will have gotten your bank statement, and then you use this window to reconcile your bank. So here you need to pick from this start, pick the regular checking account, which is Zenith Bank. If we call it Zenith Bank. Statement date. Statement date is the last date of the last date on the statement. Now, this is showing you both all credit and debit transactions. So you see them listed here. So for instance, this is only one transaction, which is the bank charge. But if that customer who purchased before, we are doing a crowd basis. I purchased some inventory and I've sold some inventory without collecting money. So, and also without paying money. I can also pay money now. Once I pay the money, you'll see it reflected in the bank statement. And if I receive money as well, it will also be reflected. So let's do it together. So let's pick. So if you look at this, under the task, receipts, we initially sold. Select for progress billing. Invoice time is for this time related payments. This is for receipt, so you can receive money. You can also this time around, I want to receive money from the person that we sold something to, which is just one customer that we have. Ngozi. So she paid through Zenith Bank, through her Zenith Bank check number 000 243. So you can also use the same receipt number here, but see, reference number and receipt number, and this is the date he's paying, 23rd. So I then click here. Where's the money going to? The money is going to regular checking account. Regular checking account in our own case now should be known as Zenith Bank. So you can also describe here. Say, okay, payments for A4 paper. You save it. Save. Likewise, the other case where you can record a transaction. That's what you can also do here. So you can always record the edit if you want. So that is how it is. So we have received money. Now let's make payments. I'm going to pay for the inventory that we purchased. So you go to, remember, payment is under this category. So we make payments here. So we're going to pay from, who do we want to pay? We're going to pay Nnamdi Said. We pay him through our Zenith Bank check number 99743. Pay him on the same day, and all we need to do is just click here, payment for A4 papers. A4 papers. So you save it. Now there's a memo here which could be the same thing that you want to write down here. Pick it up and paste it there in a short form, because it will also help you in filtering later. So if you ask me now, I can say do this, paste it there, and save it. So we have paid, we have collected money. We can also do discounts. We can also give discounts. So you give discount and you can also receive discount. So let's give credit note to give discount. So you pick up the vendor. Oh, we paid fully. We paid fully. So there will not be room for that. If I paid parts. So let's look at this one. Credit notes. So we pick this person. Oh, we also paid fully. Oh. There's no credit note. We've paid fully. But if we did not pay fully, some information will come up. It will come up there. Okay, let me edit them so that we can demonstrate that. Just add more information. Say partially paid. Because I added some more values there. Then I'll do the same here. Purchase lists. Let's say 1.5. Excellent. So at this stage, we've bought more items. So also I want to show you how discount works, how the credit note works. So this credit note, pick the vendor. So at this point, you need to pick the invoice. Can you see the invoice? So you can describe whatever you want to say and say discount of total. So you can call this discount on invoice number 001. So that's it. So now this discount is 2,000 naira. So what it technically means is that the amount due to Ngozi's side, Ngozi Babatunde will reduce. Likewise, this one is due from Ngozi Babatunde. Now, your vendor can also give you a discount, or so the discount is also treated using credit memo. You can type it in here. Let's say 30,000. So maybe there's a reason why you return some, or let's say 5,000. Yes, something like this looks good. So you save, and the payment side also reduce. Sorry. Credit memo. So let's leave it like that. Now, when you look at, we have posted, we have done all the postings, we've talked about journals. So when you want to talk about account reconciliation, you should have some data to reconcile now. So you see at the bank side, you have some information there now. So you have service charge, you have statement, ending statement. So what you have at the main side of the statement, you put it here. The balance side, closing balance of the bank statement, you put it there. You know, and you save it. Then you start to tick this against the bank statement. When you finish ticking, you find out that it has already it will balance off. The difference will be zero. This difference here, unreconciled difference, will be zero. Once it's zero, you know that you are fully balanced. So I will be going over to reports. Now, we've talked about analysis task. Analysis has to do with high-level management reporting or high-level picture. Now, this option is the one I showed you earlier. You have some default parameters which you need to set up here, and one of such is the drop down. But there are many more things that you can explore. But from there, you need to go to reports. Now, for every kind of report you want that we know in accounting, we already have them ready under the report. For instance, you go to forms. Forms will give you invoices, receipts, whatever you want. The accounts receivable, any kind of report that has to do with accounts receivable is already here. So only a few for you. You need to work on just a few. But what you are looking for, normally should be here. So let's look at accounts receivable. So reports under accounts receivable. Click that. You see, there are many more reports. Let's zoom it right so you can see. So you have page receivable, cash receipt journal, contact list. This one will show you phone numbers and the rest of customers. Customers ledger, customers ledger, customers list, customer management details, customer master file list, customer sales. So these are all related to, they are all related to accounts receivable. And likewise, accounts payable. If you want to see, for example, let's talk about our own account page payable. This is the information we have there. Page receivable. So what it means is that we have 14,000 naira under 30 days, less than 30 days. So this is what we have. No other person is up to, no debtor is up to 30, 31 and above. Customers list is one more, contact list, customers list is one more list that you like to see. So you have something like this. Likewise, accounts payable. You have, so balance we are owing 292,000. That's accounts payable, age payable. Now you have other things, other vendors ledger. So you can actually print out a vendor's ledger this way and send it to the vendor in case of reconciliation. Now there are other things I would like to show you. You see, before I go further, let's study this together. You can print this, you can save it, you can bring in more options like more columns. Let me add the column so you see what I'm talking about. Contacts, telephone, you can even move them up or down. Yes, so you save it. Can you see contact sites? I see the name coming out here. Initially, it was not there, but they had to go through this to bring it up. So you have this similar in other reports. So you can take them into Excel. Like if I click this now, it goes to Excel. This same report will come up in Excel form. Let's see, it doesn't take much time. It's already out. Likewise, if you want to take it to PDF, so you see, you can download your PDF file. So the file will come up in PDF format. Like now, your general ledger, usually your auditors will ask you for a trial balance. So this way you go to, let's get a trial balance here and give to them. So this small transaction we've done, these are our trial balance. So you know what to do. So you can download this and send to them, or depending on what you achieve. So I'm going to close this. Then I go to financial statements. Now this is a whole lot. So this is a whole lot. You have balance sheets, statement of financial position, you know, all this. So you have them there. So there's one I would like to show you. Let's go to this 12 months period. So this one will show you month by month, your transactions month by month. Gives you a large, big picture view of your transactions month by month. Likewise, if you want to compare period by period, and there are many more items that you can pick here. Look at, like, show zero amount. Show zero amount. You want to spool. If it shows zero amount, it's going to show you more than necessary. Can you see? So it's showing us a lot of zeros, zero, zero, zero. So, but you can take them off to compress like this. So you can have current period, year to date. You have the relevant percentages. Then everything is just a click with a click. So you can download this into PDF if you want. You can take it to Excel. That's just with a click, you can just take it to Excel. Now, somebody was asking me, so that's how to post our transaction. But someone was asking me, what do I mean by month-end closing? And now, as you keep posting your transaction every day, at the end of the month, you need to move to the next month. Now, this is how it flows. At the last part of this task, you have change accounting period. This is year end. So this is year end wizard to take you through the year end closing to close the year fully. So then you should have accrued for all your accruable items. You should have absorbed, recognized all your income. You should have absorbed, recognized all the unpaid salaries, unpaid rents, every outstanding payment. Because we are talking about matching concepts and we're talking about accrual concepts. So you need to recognize all expense and revenue end. So you pick them up. So at the end of the month, after posting all those ones and doing your bank presentation, you need to come here and pick the next month. So you see, it opens up for 2 years. So this is 2000. So I'll be going to January. If this was my file working fast, so I can just simply click OK, and I'll say no. Would you like to print the invoices? I say no. So I don't want to print. That's right. Now it will usually bring up this. Just ignore. No, don't want to review anything. Yes, I explained that. I just had to read a few of the questions so that I know if people are following me. Don't want to hear of my own. Now, you can actually set parameters, assign tasks, assign roles to people, and if you want your MD to be reviewing. We don't have an office in Abuja, but we operate everywhere. We can always reach out to you in Abuja, Port Harcourt, any part of Nigeria. Can always reach out. So we can always have meetings on Zoom. We can always have meetings. That's the good thing about Riverdale Professional Service is that we are a team of professionals willing to reach out to others, and that's how this training got to you. So a simple email, tell us your constraint, challenges, and we'll be able to work around it. There's always a way around it. With technology around now, there are many possibilities. You can't imagine until you say it. You cannot imagine it. There's no limitation. Just know there's no limitation. There's no limitation. So whenever as you are looking at all these things, see, I've already given you a hint that with Peachtree you can save tons of money in invoice. That's your invoice that you normally print every month or every year. You can bypass that and use your Peachtree. The receipts that you always generate for your customers after payment, you can use the Peachtree. Your pay slip, you can also use Peachtree, but I told you in the last session, that's when we did the payroll, that you can do it easily using Excel as well. So if you want us to also come into that, to assist you in outsourcing that, feel free to send us a mail. Yes, there's a lot of overlapping that I can do here using the controls in Peachtree. Can assign roles, can delegate and ensure that everybody is doing their own part. So that I'm only showing you possibilities here. So we are still talking about reports. Talking about reporting, you come to financial statement. Let's look at balance sheet. The balance sheet statement of financial position. Okay, now you look at this. Can you see? Now this is our statement of asset and liability. So you have accounts receivable 14, accounts. This is our bank balance is negative. Our inventory value is 1.4 million. Okay. I think we're already rounding up, so I would like to leave in a few minutes' time. I would like to have questions so that we close it. But then, take a look at this first. This is the balance sheet. So you can describe this. You can download in Excel. Can download in PDF. You can even email it like that. You can save it. You can. So let me take it down in Excel. So let me in PDF. So you see how it looks like. So you can click there to go to Excel. Take it to Excel. You can take it to an existing file or file format. So that is for reporting. And I've told you about the year-end, month-end closing. Told you about month-end closing. Let me see. Sorry, please. Some of our guys' internet is not. So likewise, inventory reports, all the reports, the same thing. Job report. This job report is one sweet one that those that wants to handle projects need to explore under these job settings to give you your profitability reports. This one is profitability, so it will show you the costs and the income that comes. Since you continue to tag them, you can always tag them and you get the right report. Now, end of the year. Sorry. Oh shit. End of the year, there's what they call year-end wizard, which is this one. What I mean by end of the year, I told you that Peachtree can only keep open information for 2 years. So we are currently in 2020. So you have information for 2020 and 2021 open. For you to get to 2022, we must close 2020. So to close 2020, you run what they call year-end wizard. So this is year-end wizard. It's very quick, very easy, but you must make sure that everything as regards 2020 is already posted before you start running it. You click it and you follow the steps. Follow the steps, follow the steps, and follow the steps. Now, if you leave these ones checked and your computer is attached to your printer, you will be printing loads of documents. So I normally advise that you take them off. You don't check anything. So next, internal, you need to click this and do it, but then I'm just always make backup before you close, so that in case if there's any error in the process, you can always restore. So I'm going to back up now. You name your backups the way you think you can get it right. So for me, I normally put it this way: 12/23. So what this means is 2020 month is 12th month, 23 is today's date. So I'll then store it. Now you can change this and store it in a hard drive, external hard drive, or your desktop, wherever you want to store your backup. So you store it, you wait for it to. So it's not telling me that this company backup will require 7.33 MB. So your backup point should be above this before you can save. I encourage you to buy a hard drive, separate hard drive for this purpose. So you wait for it to finish its things, then you move on. If you want to archive, you can as well archive, but I want to move on. See, so it's telling me that this period will be open now. So it's also telling me that it's closing 2020. So it will be opening 2021 and 2022. I'm assuming that this one will help to check some postings, electronic posting. Now, if you do some errors, now sometimes we just ignore this. If I show what we've done, otherwise it will help you to repost some transactions. So finish. Now, if you go back to the task, you find out that 2020 is closed. Let's see what you have now is 2021 and 2022. So we have successfully closed 2020. But before you do that, please make sure that you've posted everything, all the transactions for 2020. Make sure you've posted everything you've accrued for anything, because you will not be able to open it. But except for viewing purpose. For example, if I want to look at sales invoice for 2020, I can now say all transactions. These are invoice posted in the past, so I can see it. I can see, but I cannot correct anything. To not accept. See, the save option is no longer there. So that's why I said it can only take 2 years transaction, and once you close the previous year, you cannot edit anything. You can only view, but you can't edit. And it's good. It's good. Now, it's very good, user friendly, and we recommend it for SMEs. We recommend Peachtree for SMEs. Now, the other information that you need, but now, what I want to show you now is to restore from backup. Now, you've seen how to backup. You can also backup from here. You backup like this, so simple. Try to schedule your backup every Friday. That's if your transactions are too large. That let's put it this way: if you lose a lot of data, please schedule every Friday. Otherwise, once a month, it's fine. Now, you can restore. To restore is very simple. Click restore. You browse to the computer, to your where you have your backup. Now, I have my backup on the desktop. So these are my backups. So I'll touch this. Next. Now, he's asking me a question here. Are you restoring an existing one or a new company? if in your computer you don't have that company before, let's assume you are the managing director, and you normally ask your accountant to give you a backup. So it gives you a backup. You don't want to be working in real time. It gives you a backup. You can then restore the backup this way. All you need to do is just take the backup, bring it in and say a new company, or restore an existing one, depending on what you are trying to achieve. So it will override the one that is there. So yeah, you can see if you have forms like your invoice, if you've customized your forms already, like your invoice with your logo and the rest, you need to make sure you back up with the invoice, customized invoice. Showing me output error, maybe because my file is still open. So that's how it is. So open an existing company. These are the sample companies that come with Peachtree. So anytime you install Peachtree, it comes with sample companies, so you can explore more to see. So this is the one we worked on, Queen and Queens Limited. These are sample companies that come with Peachtree. So you can always explore, play with the sample companies. Anywhere you have issues, check the account, and get it right. When I mean check the account, I mean check the journal entries. Check the journal entries and make sure that the posting is right. So please permit me to stop here for now, and let me see if I can have some questions, attend to some questions. Let me check the question, the chat box. Oh, someone is recommending I put on glasses. Yes, I think you are right. You are right. Someone is not seeing my screen. Okay. Sorry, let me do it again. Good. So now we need to entertain questions. Now, please, if you have a question, please just raise your hands and I'll call you and talk and speak, because we expect you to be participatory.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My name is Oya Steven Simeon.
Please speak louder.
My name is Oya Steven Simeon.
Okay.
Yeah, my question is, I want to know if an organization that is into importation.
Importation?
You know, yes, they incur landing cost, which is added to the material before being sold out. I want to know if you can undo Sage 50. If Sage 50 can undo landing cost together with the cost of the goods. Because my previous experience with Peachtree, the previous point was acquired by Sage 50. You have to use Excel to capture the landing cost before adding it to the cost. I want to know if Page 50 can.
There's a way you. It's not for beginners. There's a way you go about it if you want Sage 50 to handle it. Like I told you initially, it's an application that can be customized. So there's a way you can customize it. It involves some kind of mapping. You need to map it first before you make it happen.
Because I have used Sage Evolution. That one you can capture the landing cost together with the cost of the goods.
Yes, that's one area which people have been having issues with. But like you rightly said, some go out of the Peachtree and they handle it outside. Just like I'll tell you too, if you want to handle something like a payroll, I'll ask you to handle it outside of Peachtree. Like on the Excel, if you attended the last session, we gave out templates, a payroll template, which you can use your place of work. In fact, someone got back to me that the payroll template was very good, and got the person recognition from the boss, and that's a good one for me. For very good feedback that I would love to hear. So now so I'm trying to look at the questions so that I can answer them. Yes, you can install Peachtree. Someone is talking about server. You can install Peachtree on the server, and multiple users will connect to the server. Yes, if you set up Peachtree and you discover that there's an error somewhere, you can always reinstall. You can even, the customer information that is faulty, you can always correct it. The Peachtree is user-friendly. In fact, correcting an error, I'll still tell you more again, but let me go through all the questions first. How much can you get Peachtree accounting? Please send us a mail. There are different types and different shades. We need to know, for instance, what your requirements are. What do you want to use it for? What size are you looking at? Let me give you an example. How many users do you need? How many users license do you need? How do you want to get it installed? Is it in your office where you have your server, or you want one single laptop where you want to install it on one single laptop? Send us a mail. You have our email. It's going to be you'll receive a mail from us though after, because our mail will come with the slide used today. So you when you have it, you can always send us a checklist of what you need and your questions. Yes, Eniola, I will share the PowerPoint presentation with everyone. It will come from service at riverdaleprofessionals.com. Yeah, somebody's talking about sales tax. That's an area I need to talk about that too. Now, as I told you that when you are setting up your invoice, when you are designing your invoice, there are so many things you can do along with your invoice. You can put your TIN number on your invoice. You can put your company logo on your invoice, your email on your invoice, your contact phone numbers on your invoice, every damn information that you need to make sales swift. Put them on your invoice on Peachtree. Customize Peachtree to have all those data. Now, in addition, you can put the VAT in the system so that once your sales staff posts the invoice, the VAT figure will automatically be computed at the base, 7.5%. Now, that needs some settings, like we need to put the chart of accounts as regards the collective chart of account, that's the FIRS VAT or the chart of account. We also need to name the vendor as FIRS VAT, then channel it properly. To take a little time, not too long though, but I'm looking at the time given for me to do this presentation. I don't want to exceed it. Why didn't you feel the VAT? Okay, that's why I not feel the VAT. But it's there. It's possible to do it. You can do it even now. I believe the sales tax depends on the rates applicable in the state in which your business. No, I'm not talking about sales tax now. I'm talking about VAT. Putting the VAT. Sales tax too. Yes, if you want to put that on the invoice, why not? And 1099 type field is that's a US standard. They have their regulatory codes there. Tax are different from different places. After setting up a new company is finished, I've answered that one. Does Peachtree have multiple currencies? Well, I don't know about multiple currency right now. Can a single staff carry out all these different phases of accounting records, purchase recording, accounting recording, and accounts payable without being in violation of segregation of duty or control? Can you explain how internal control, compliance, segregation of duty is built into? Oh, this is a very, very, very intelligent question coming from Joseph Adesiu. Let me read it out. Uti, can a single staff carry out all these different phases of accounting records, purchasing recording, account receivable, account payable, without being in violation of segregation of duties or internal control? Can you explain how internal control, compliance, segregation of duty is built into this software? Excellent. Now, in Peachtree, there's this password control mechanism. Let me see if I can show you here. Okay, it's let me quickly see if I can do that. Oh my, have I shut down? Uh-oh. The password, when Peachtree assigns users password, they can good. Okay, so let me open one. Let me open an example. I guess you can see my screen now. If you're not seeing my screen, let me know. Now, stop sharing. Okay, it wants me to reboot, and I don't want to reboot. I don't want to reboot this computer. So, but what I'm trying to explain to you is this: the Peachtree allows you to once we set up the password control, where you have to log in with a password, you can always track who is doing what at what time. So, if I want to assign roles, for instance, I can, as the financial controller, I can assign roles to maybe Oye as the accounts payable officer, assign role to Christian Nwamna as accounts pay receivable, and I'll remain the financial controller. Now, with the man as a Oye that is the accounts receivable, I will give him access to sell inventory, and he will not be able to do some other things apart from focusing on his own role. That is how we can separate. Another way, but another thing is, yes, in small size organization, one individual can do everything. This is why I encourage the managing director of small businesses to also understand how to use Peachtree, so that in such entities, you can pick a backup from the accountant and review from time to time. Store the backup at your end, and you have some checks. Now, the audit trail in the Peachtree, which is under reports, audit trail report shows you who did what at what time. In fact, many years back, I used it to track a fraudulent staff, and the evidence was used in court. We used the evidence from Peachtree to present in court, to defend our case in court sometime back. And now the staff never knew that there was audit trail tracking her password. Is a lady. At the end of the day, we were able to point the fraud to a particular individual. Person went in and was because he had so much, the management had so much trust in her, so she was deleting. After committing a fraud, she would delete. So we were able to use the audit trail to study the pattern of this fraud, how she was going about it. You can interpret it when you look at the back end. You can interpret it when she does her deleting, what she does after the deleting. You see everything there. So that audit trail report is very key. So many people ignore it, but I usually set it up when I'm setting up Peachtree so that users will appreciate the full value. Yeah, someone is asking for the notable difference between PowerSoft and. Now, I don't know about PowerSoft. Probably I need to explore that part. So yes, if there's a forget password, but try not to forget your password now. There's always recovery method, but try not to forget. Write your password down. Let it be something that you can always get. With Peachtree, a single staff can do everything. In fact, if you are running a one-man business, you can do everything with your. Yeah, if there are different, see, once you know the strength and weakness of your application, you can set in. Before Peachtree came, there were people were using manual methods, 16 column cache boot and the rest. They had their controls in place. So even if one single person is running all these things, okay, there are other controls you can put in place. For example, your approval, your check approvals, your voucher processing, the steps to process voucher. One person can process voucher, another person will sign approved by, another person will sign the check and things like that. All those steps are there. You don't throw away those steps because you're using Peachtree. Then you can also say some other person will be the data entry person in the Peachtree. These are steps. You don't just throw everything away and say because you're using Peachtree. Someone is asking a new accountant that wants to put in 3 years, that's Chimaobi. He said a new accountant whom has just been employed. How do you go about recording financial transaction in a Peachtree software if your employer requires you to enter prior 3 years before you were employed transaction? Thank you. Before you start off, the first step is to get the trial balance, beginning trial balance. Now, that beginning trial balance is what you need to enter from the first year. Now, the volume of the transactions matters. There's an electronic way of uploading data in Peachtree where you can upload as import data. Now, but the best part is the manual inputs, data inputs. When you have so many years, like 3 years to input, is a lot depending on the size of the transaction of the business. So you can either have enough hands to do it, or you go electronically to import them electronically. So I prefer the manual type, though it's a very tedious one, but it makes the system very clean and you know details of all the transactions. Now, for small businesses, it might not be too much where you have few transactions, but there's also some large companies that have huge turnover, like in terms of the invoice. Single invoice could run into millions, but they just have few invoices per month. Such also is not too much. You can post that manually. Then if the number is extremely large, then you can explore the option of the import. How can one set a restrictions of users on Sage instead of giving the full accessibility of one staff? Yes, the admin person can restrict people, so that's easy. I'm looking at it from this. Oh yeah, is not saying. I'm looking at it from the angle of small business that have only 2 account staff. If it's only 1 account staff, the MD, oh yeah, the flow is not too smooth. See, where the essence of Peachtree is to reduce the crowd that you usually have in account departments. Period. So how you plan your job in such a way that, so for example, if we are going to implement it in your place, we will also advise you on internal control. So based on our understanding of how your transaction flow. In Peachtree, yes, you can actually set what your staff should do. Simple. Yes, somebody is asking about Abuja again. Please, we don't have an office in Abuja presently, but our operations go around Nigeria. We have clients scattered around in different locations. We have clients in different states. So Abuja is also a place where we have some clients too. Our address will be sent to you in a mail. So, but this is our address. Our address is 5 Oliyide Street off Unity Road, Ikeja, Lagos. But you'll see it in our mail. No, somebody is talking about moving from one Peachtree file to another. For you to move from one Peachtree file to another, you must study the architecture. Let me give you an example. You can move from Peachtree complete to Quantum, but you cannot move from Quantum to Peachtree complete because Quantum is the higher version. Okay, you can't do that. So that's it. So please permit me to stop here. For now, all other questions, please send it to us by email. Our email is services. At Riverdale Professionals.com. Okay. We will also send you a mail carrying the presentation. So that mail should be enough. Now, I want to believe that those of you that have never, any attendees that have never used Peachtree before should try to start practicing right now. We would like to get feedbacks, good feedbacks to see how you are growing. This gives us joy. Someone, like I told you last time, someone hinted me that she had a raise based on the payroll template we shared, and that's the kind of feedback that we love. It motivates us, gives us a booster to go ahead. So we have many more, aside from the ones we've given, we have so many more that we are going to give. Some of them are going to come in free, some at a rate, because you know, of course, that we pay a lot of bills to get these things across. So thank you so much for your time. Please remember to share the knowledge with other people to make let us strengthen ourselves as accountants. Thank you, and God bless you.